So in one of our previous episodes at the beginning of this season, we got into the mysterious disappearances and ultimate deaths of young men going out in the city of Boston, disappearing from their friends, the crowd they're with, whatever, and turning up dead in the nearest body of water. 2 episodes ago, we got into the first 3 cases in that timeline. Now we're going to give you the next 4. Does Massachusetts have a killer on its hands? Are there connections between that, men winding up dead in the water? Welcome to this next episode of The Search. Let's get into it. We're back again, guys. Welcome to another episode of The Search. Kind of a laissez-faire intro there by me a little bit, just easing back in. We're continuing this series we got going on. Water-related deaths with young men here in the city of Boston. We did the first 3 cases last week for those of you that didn't watch the episode. First episode, by the way, of season 2. If you want to go back, I believe it was Dustin Willis, William Hurley, and Eugene Losick, right? And now, Al, we're going to pick right back up where the timeline stopped off last. So it's just like what movie just continues? The second one just continues right where the first one left off.
Is it a sequel?
Yeah, no. I meant like an actual example of the movie, like that just goes right from when the first one ends and the second one picks up.
Do you know? Are you trying to quiz me here?
No. I'm asking you to help jog my memory. I'm not this ain't a quiz. I'm trying to just figure it out. Where it's the second one just starts right after. But anyway.
What about The Dark Knight Rises? Does that start off the second one?
No.
It doesn't start off right
I think
away.
it's 6 months later, I believe. Whatever, at any rate, it's one of those situations. So we're going right into the next case, Al. First one we have here is a little thin as far as details go.
Very thin.
So don't expect this one to be super, super intense, but we're going to start with Justin Leo Marshall. He was age 30. This individual was based out of Charlestown, Massachusetts, or he went missing in Charlestown, Mass.
Yeah, so November 18th, 1979, he was born. He actually passes on June 6, 2010 at 30 years old. His parents are Alfred Marshall and Mary Marshall. He's got a sister, Jessica. Education, he's a West Point. He attended West Point. So another
military thing
another
here?
Military-related
thing here, whatever it is?
Governor's Academy, which I'm pretty sure is like a secondary school that's like a prestigious.
Yeah, it's in it's next to Georgetown. It's in
is it?
Byfield. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's right there. It's they kind of play in the same division as
Oh, okay.
It's
Groton School. Shout
yeah.
out ISL. Governors in the ISL.
Yeah, they're in like the D2 of ISL.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? So Phillips Andover.
Yeah.
That's like the one. You know what I mean? And then the Governors, Brooks. There's a couple of other schools that are like a level down.
I didn't know there were divisions in ISL.
There are, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think they play each other at certain points in the season, but there's definitely, I'm almost positive, like a 1 and 2 in private schools.
It's like a big school, small school.
Big
type
school,
of thing.
small school.
Is that how it works? Yeah.
Yeah, because some of them are way bigger than other ones, right? So, continue, Al.
Yep. So then he graduated from the University of Notre Dame in 2003.
Damn.
He basically essentially went exactly the Shane Gillis route.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
right? Because
exactly.
isn't how he went West Point, then he
Right.
goes to Notre Dame. Then he graduates Suffolk Law with honors June 2010. So this is right before he's passes. He had graduated Suffolk Law.
Okay.
So he's a very smart individual. You can just tell getting into West Point, Notre Dame. These are all pretty
Because
prestigious
he passed
schools.
at age 30. So, yes, clearly, like you're saying, he clearly went through every educational milestone you had to get through to that point to obviously when you go through law school and the whole deal, right?
And he was working for City Hall, Boston City Hall under Thomas Menino, under the Mayor Menino. So he worked inside of City Hall. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much his background.
Okay. And then we have him on June 6, 2010. He's at Pier 6, which I believe is still a popular spot in Charlestown.
Yes.
Right.
Is that where the new that Navy Yard
it's
place
in the Navy Yard, yeah.
Yeah, that same place. The yard, they call
yes,
it.
it's in the same area, right?
They got the mini golf. They got everything.
They got everything.
Outdoor bar. Yeah.
Sometime late that night, witnesses see a man fall into the water from the pier. Emergency services respond quickly. Boston Fire and Harbor Patrol pull a man from the harbor unconscious. Now, when they see a man fall into the water, does that just qualify? What?
So it was tough to find information. This is what we mean when this is we're tight with details on this one. Did they just hear a splash?
Right.
and see someone struggling, or do they actually see the person fall? They don't know.
And not to discount the credibility here, but like this almost sounds like, I mean, at viewers' discretion, borderline. Is this even like qualified?
No.
Like to be in this.
I tried to look up as much as I could, and I couldn't get any more information.
I was going to say, this is pretty thin. So then June 7th, he's recovered the next day. He's ID'd. He's pronounced dead at 2:43 in the morning at Mass General. Obviously later identified as Justin Leo Marshall. Reports describe the fall as unexplained. No immediate evidence of foul play was released. His death becomes one of several Boston area cases later linked by journalists and online investigators to the Smiley Face drowning cluster. I think, if anything, we're going to rebuke this one a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to the viewer to decide. This might be one of the most like interpretive ones, kind of believe it which way you see it.
I think if we go through every single one that could be attributed, there's a few that you could see could be interpreted. This would be one of them.
Right,
like,
or misinterpreted.
Yes,
right,
misinterpreted.
Right,
could this be misattributed towards this cluster? Could this actually be an accident?
Well, the other thing is like you have people that like saw this guy fall in. I feel like everybody else, it's like he just wandered away.
Usually
and was
they
found
don't
in the thing. Nobody like watched the motherfucker fall in. You know what I mean? So it's like,
usually they don't know where the person even
where the
went
drop-in point was.
They have
This is like by the way, if you've ever been to Pier 6, if you ever like been.
Yeah, I've been down there.
You could see it. It's like
pretty open.
It's like Mission on the Bay. It's like you see shit. Like it's not hard to like. There's no real obstructed views or crazy things where you lose people. Like,
and 15 years ago, it's pretty much looked the same. It pretty much is.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed much over there. But I think it's basically across from every other wharf that every other person's disappeared in.
Unless the Smiley Face killer happened to be there that night and decided to give someone the old McGinnis from behind and just the old stiff arm ski.
You mean the 300?
The 300, whatever anything.
This is
like,
Boston.
But I'm just saying, like, this sounds like to me, honestly, like I'm going to interpret this as like a genuine accident. Especially the place is like on the water.
I think that this is obviously what the police are feeling in that way. I mean, they think it on every single one, and some of them are insane that they think that.
Well, we're going to get to one actually at the end of this episode that's borderline malpractice. Like, what do you call it? Not malpractice for police, but like
I don't know. I wouldn't even think of it better
sheer ineptitude. I don't know.
I don't know yet.
So that's the Justin Leo Marshall case. That's, if you want to even call it a case. I don't even know really where. I think personally, like maybe not. I don't know. It's up to your viewer discretion. Do you buy it? Do you not? Do you know? Is there anybody out there that knows more about there, might have been there this night, or whatever the hell, lived in the area? I don't know. That has more information to contribute to this.
We get a lot of DMs, and some we can't even read on here.
Some we can't even. I mean, we could. We'd have to leave out some details, but some we really can't. To be honest with you, because some there's some implications there. And this, by the way, this isn't like pumping up the mythos of this show. It's just that some of you have been very open about things that you know or that other people don't know.
Yep.
And sharing that information with us. So thank you for thinking of us to do that, right? But I think it's time that we could probably move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. Next case in the timeline technically is David Mark. This was in Newton/Kenmore Square by the Chelsea River in Massachusetts. This was March 2nd, 2011. Al, do you have anything else to?
I do. So David Mark, he's 24. Albany, New York is where he's from. He's insulin dependent. I mean, he's a type 1 diabetic. He needs insulin to regulate his sugar. Mm-hmm. If everyone knows anybody with type 1 diabetes, they're very reliant on their insulin. Most of them have pumps. They're always checking their sugar.
Well, back then they had the thing, and now there's like a patch.
Now there's a patch. Yeah,
right. But back then, if you didn't have your insulin, you were literally going to fucking die.
My in-laws' family, there's one of the aunts. She'll just break it out during Thanksgiving and be checking her sugar. This is back in the day when it would before the patches, and just be checking her sugar and deciding how much insulin am I going to have if I'm eating this pie. So you're going to take like every single meal, this person needs their insulin.
Right.
And he had Asperger's syndrome, which is kind of on that autism spectrum.
Yep. Our stepbrother Alex has the same thing.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's very possible. He graduated from the University of Albany with a degree in geography. He actually has a master's in geography. So I would say another.
It's kind of ironic.
It's crazy that all these kids seem to be well educated.
Academically accomplished.
Yes, academically
you could
accomplished.
say,
is the way to go.
absolutely. It's almost like it can't. Is that a coincidence?
I don't know, because people are going to point to the fact that they're young. They're in a college town. Boston's a college town.
That's true. Right.
So they're going to say no, that it is a coincidence, is what they're trying to say. Like, don't look too much into that. But
now he was here to visit his sister.
Yep.
Right, who lived here. And he was visiting, I believe, what was Boston Beer Works. And if you're there now, fairly new to the area, it is now Loco. That's what Boston Beer Works. That's what used to be Boston Beer Works.
Loco is what it was?
It's Loco. No, Loco's what it is now. It used to be Boston Beer Works, is what I'm saying. Okay. So you're like down in Fenway. You know where we weren't Game On?
Yeah.
Okay, right across the street where Boston Beer Works used to be?
Yeah, okay.
That's where he clearly was. That's where he was when he went missing. I was just saying, for the people who didn't know what the area looked like back then and are wondering what it is now, it's now Loco.
Yeah, so he disappears on Wednesday, March 2nd. He leaves his parents' home in Albany and travels to Boston, visited the sister in Newton. Sometime between 1 and 3, employees at Boston Beer Works near Fenway saw him, right where you're talking about, and they said he was reportedly in good spirits. After that, he never arrives home at his sister's home in Chestnut Hill, because she lives in Chestnut Hill, and never returned to Albany. His car's discovered several days later, which we'll get into, at 10 Middlesex Road near his sister's home. So
which
the car
is technically near Brimmer and May.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know, that's another like private school.
I'm pretty sure that's where she goes to school. Brimmer and May School.
Oh, the sister's in.
Yes.
Oh, okay, got you. I didn't know that. Oh, all right, cool,
yes,
cool. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I thought the sister just worked out there, or was in college out there.
No.
Got you.
At 6:40, his cell phone is pinged at the Charlestown Navy Yard vicinity. So again, right where kind of, Marshall disappears, Charlestown Navy Yard. But what they're saying is that the ping's location, this is the thing with pings and towers, that it actually covers a wide radius. So they're not exactly sure if he was ever right at that Charlestown
At least
Navy
back
Yard.
then.
At least back then.
Right.
They later said that it could have pinged at approximately 1.5 miles northeast of the tower in Charlestown, is where they think it might have even went. So 1.5 miles northeast of Charlestown.
So it gives you an area, but not like a super concentrated area.
No, that's like heading back up Route 1 type.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, you got to think an hour and a half northeast. Mile and a half northeast. You could be in fucking Revere.
Yeah, Chelsea at least.
Chelsea, right? Something, anything, right? So now there's no activity on his phone or bank accounts after the night of March 2nd.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So March 8th rolls around. Am I good on this timeline?
Yep.
Okay, around 8 a.m., workers find a body floating in the Chelsea River near 498 Meridian Street in East Boston. Okay? So this had made its way across.
That 1.5 miles northeast kind of makes sense. Right now, right?
Yes, now it does, right? It's identified as him, David Mark. Investigators note no obvious signs of trauma or struggle.
Yeah, so at 7:56 a.m., Boston police responded to a radio call in East Boston near that 498 Meridian Street. Body found on the shoreline. The body was identified as David Mark. Obviously, no signs of trauma. The body was located 15 to 18 feet from the shore. So that's pretty close. Like, well, you got to think a car length is 15 to 8. I know that's like the easiest way I see.
Yeah,
One
that's
car
a good way to
length,
call
you know
it.
what I mean?
I'm actually right now looking up just to do it 498 Meridian Street to see like what this is around.
Okay.
So give me a look around. Yeah, this is like a oh shit. It is okay. So you know where this is? Actually, now that I'm looking at it, this is kind of by like it's down the pier, like down the coast, you could say, from like Real House.
Oh, like Pierce Park.
Yeah,
Pierce
that's
Park.
where this is.
Okay.
Like Nay Street, Tedisco Towing's right there.
Okay.
You have the CVS is in that plaza.
2011, that's kind of an area that hasn't been built up like it is now.
No, like Tall Ships isn't there at all.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Not at that
Real
point.
House that kind of just opened. Or
I would
no,
say this
not
is-
even. So this is a while ago. It's by the Chelsea Bridge.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
where this individual was found, for anybody wondering. So
that's 6 days after. So if you look at the currents, is it possible that he could have made it that way? They don't know.
don't know.
They don't know if it's possible.
Okay.
So if he went into the Charlestown Navy, yeah, but who knows where he actually went in because his phone pings higher. But is it pinging from the water?
Well,
Is
no
it
one
pinging-
ever, and well, I feel like people
So-
never really know where they go in.
I think it's very odd that you're at Boston Beer Works near Fenway, and you end up East Boston.
East Boston. When your sister lives in Chestnut Hill, which is quite literally the polar opposite
where your
direction.
car is.
Where your car is.
So if he's saying he's leaving Boston Beer Works to go to his car,
How much can you possibly wander to get remotely in that area?
yeah, they say he only had enough insulin to last him the day. Like he was only supposed to go there for a day trip, right?
Right.
So he wasn't going to have enough insulin. This is why the family like really panicked when they
And
didn't
this
find his
really,
car.
well, this also has to condense the timeline for a lot of people on like,
It has to.
this dude isn't an idiot. He clearly knows what's going on, clearly has at that time, life-threatening illness if you don't get your insulin.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like your
Clock's ticking.
Clock is ticking. Absolutely it is. So it's not like this kid was just some kid that was out, yeah, I'm going to bar hop around. Like, no, bro, when you need your insulin, you need it like on the
go.
on the clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least, again, back then for when that was a thing. But, I mean, I just don't know if he was seen around Boston Beer Works, right? And then what happens?
Well, exactly. So
It's
there's-
like, then what could possibly happen?
So there's a huge gap from Fenway. His phone pings in Fenway. They see him Boston Beer Works. So he does. Not only is there cell phone tracking, it pings in Fenway. People see him. Some of the employees see him. They note that he's in good spirits. What happens after that and where he goes, no one knows. Again, this is daylight. At some point after 3:00, because he leaves there at 3:00. Daylight in Boston, down Fenway. What month is this?
March 8th. So it's March.
Yeah. So it's March. That's, I mean,
Yeah, because
that's such a busy area.
yeah. I mean, you have the train coming in and out of there, Kenmore Square, right? So you got to think he disappeared. You said during the daytime.
After 3:00.
After 3:00, he was just never seen.
Never seen again.
I think he might be the only person to this point that's disappeared
How
during the
long
day.
of a walk is it from, if you could do that on maps, somebody, how long is a walk from Fenway to even, let's say Charlestown, or Fenway to East
That's
Boston?
got to be Fenway to Charlestown.
We're talking hours.
That's got to be an hour at least.
Hour and a half, probably. Yeah, 'cause
Really?
I've done it from Fenway back to the north end. It was about an hour. One thing I was going to ask though did he have any friends there with him?
That's
Is
the other thing. It's like,
everything
was this guy
I've
alone?
seen-
Like, was he just... Also, when it says he was there to visit his sister was clearly in high school, if that's the case, if she was at Brimmer and May. She wasn't out drinking.
That's the weirdest part is that
That's
there
what
were
makes no
no
sense to
buddies
me.
that
I
are
thought-
like, yeah,
thought,
he was going.
I thought, until I really read this, that, like, I don't know, this sister went to BU or some shit, and it's like, hey, just come down to this area where I go to school.
Let me find out exactly, because that does sound odd. Like, could I have that wrong? Like, I thought she was going to Brimmer and May.
Well, that's what came up with me, too.
Yeah.
Or was his car just at Brimmer and May? Or near Brimmer and May is what it's.
Great question, because, like,
Hold on, we might have a whole thing happening right here. His car, it says to me, is found near Brimmer and May School in Chestnut Hill. Adding confusion about his path. That's what I have right here. I don't know if I'm wrong.
we are in the midst of, I do love that we're in the midst of an investigation right now.
We are right now.
Yeah.
I think this just went from being a kind of, we started off a little slow with this
Well, that's the
episode.
problem. You start asking questions.
Then the
and it's like,
questions,
it
that's
doesn't
why
make
it's called the
sense.
search. That's why it's called the fucking search. So we need to figure out who he was with and like where the sister actually went to school, or if his car was just found near Brimmer and May School in Chestnut Hill. because the sister lived there, right?
So they think the sister was older, right? That she was living in Newton, had her own place. The school was not where she was.
Okay,
like, attending.
that makes way
That
more
makes
sense.
The car was
way
just
more
parked
sense.
by that
Because I'm
school.
looking at this and I'm like, wait a minute.
That makes
There's no
1,000
sense.
more sense.
Yeah,
because-
I was like, what was he?
yeah,
That doesn't make any. Yeah, that made no sense to me or whatever. So the sister was older. Maybe we'll figure out how old. This is why this podcast is this podcast, man. We find questions, we ask them. If something doesn't
Hopefully
add up,
we
it's
answer
called
them.
the search for a reason, right? So, all right. So yeah, he probably like met his sister in.
Yeah, I even have here that it was his car's discovered at 10 Middlesex Road near his sister's home. So I did write near his sister's home.
Yeah,
so that would make sense.
she must live in Chestnut Hill near
I
Brimmer and May.
I just think yes, that's exactly
Got
what
you.
it is.
Okay, got you. Well, whatever. We cleared that up. That's fine. And like I said, investigators note no obvious signs of trauma or struggle.
Yes, no trauma. There is that, obviously. So this is what the cops, here's what the cops are saying. The cops are saying this kid got disoriented. He needed insulin. He's walking around and he's fainting, and that's how he falls into the water. That's basically like their line of questioning. Like, but how do you walk someone that's weak 2-hour walk? Or an hour and a half walk.
Yeah, that doesn't make any.
So that's my beef. Is like when you've ever been, okay, I've been low sugar before, right? Mm-hmm. I'm pre-diabetic, probably full-blown diabetic, right? I've been low sugar before. They put me on sugar medicine. You can't do jack shit.
Really?
You start sweating. You have no energy, and it's worse than having high sugar. Low sugar is worse than having high sugar. High sugar you function on. Low sugar you cannot function on. People die in their sleep because of it.
Oh, really?
Yes, they die in their sleep because of it.
No shit. Okay.
So it's just one of those things. Your body starts shutting down. So you're telling me that what their line of question is, he was walking and he. But here's the thing. Okay, he didn't have his insulin.
He's walking in the opposite direction.
He didn't have his insulin. So in your mind, wouldn't his stuff be going higher? Wouldn't his sugar be going higher if you use insulin to regulate your sugar to go lower?
Is that what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the diabetes move? I don't.
If you have low blood sugar, you're not giving yourself more insulin. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Now I see that. I never knew how it actually worked with
Insulin
diabetics.
regulates the sugar in your body.
Got you.
So,
Okay.
but they're just
Even
saying he
more.
had a low blood sugar, which can happen with booze. So he is drinking. you
Yeah.
know? There is varying reports of how much he was drinking. They don't say he was drinking anything crazy. He wasn't making a scene or anything like that. It seems like he was just enjoying a couple beverages. Doesn't seem like he was taking shots or anything like that. So they're thinking it's a medical event happened and he falls into the water. That's their whole train of thought. I don't love it because
I just don't understand how he ends up near it. I don't know how the coincidence of medical event happens and he then, like, especially like if you're near like the Charles River where he was, right? Or where was, I'm sorry, Chelsea River, whatever. Or he's found in the Chelsea River, sorry. Found in the Chelsea River. The Charles River is the one that's right down there by the Esplanade and shit, right?
right.
There's like you can't just walk in, man. There's like a barrier. Like there's like a railing. So what did he do? Have a diabetic moment and climb the railing? I don't understand.
I don't think they know where he went in.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? So it could have been anywhere. I don't think they have any idea where he went in whatsoever.
Completely agreed.
But they said he never contacted the sister. So his car's close to the sister's house.
You would think he would have called the sister and been like, hey, can you please come get me and take me to a hospital, get me some insulin, anything, like I'm in trouble?
And the only reason why they found Boston Beer Works was because he had a computer search. There was a computer search on his thing that searched out Boston Beer Works.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to Boston Beer Works and talk to the waitresses and said he was there from like 1 to 3 and left. So to me, it seems like he's alone at Boston Beer Works. He's just maybe she's at work till 5 and he's going to see his sister after.
Maybe.
That makes sense why it's a day thing. He gets there early in the day. He starts.
We're asking a lot, but it would have been sick if they asked the sister what was the plan here.
Yeah, to
So,
me
like,
it just seemed like a routine visit. Like he's just going to come visit.
Yeah, I'm going to see my sister for the weekend.
Yeah.
She works out here. She's got a job out here.
But
She
only
might
for the
have-
night.
Right.
Yeah, and he was supposed to drive back later on.
Right. So, well, that's going to close the David Mark case. That one, like I said, at surface level, you don't think it's that crazy. Then you look into it, and that's definitely an eyebrow raiser, I would say. Definitely. Now we're at Franco Garcia, Al. This gentleman was 21 years old. He was a BC student. This is Chestnut Hill yet again. February 21st, 2012. It was his last seen date. Franco Garcia, 21, a BC student, spends the evening at Marianne's Bar in Cleveland Circle with friends. I am not familiar with that area at all, really at all.
Yeah, Cleveland Circle is one of those places. But let's get into a little background of Franco.
Sure.
Franco Garcia, he's 21, young kid. Hometown West Newton, Massachusetts. He went to Boston College. Chemistry major. He was actually a pharmacy technician at CVS in Waltham. He played clarinet in the BC's March and Pep and Symphony Band. So basically, he was active in the BC community. Disappears February 22nd. Body's discovered a couple months later in the Chestnut Hill Reservoir.
Okay. But then he sends it on February 21st. He sends a Facebook message at 12:15 at night. It doesn't say to who. And then he leaves the bar alone.
Yeah, so the Facebook message, I couldn't find more details about this. So let's just get in.
Nay, could I?
Let's get into the kind of the night of February 22nd. So around 8:30 p.m., he joined some friends from Boston College at Marianne's Bar in Cleveland Circle. That's 1937 Beacon Street. Friends describe him obviously good spirits, socializing, drinking, nothing out of the ordinary. About 11 p.m. to 12 a.m., multiple eyewitnesses confirm that Franco is still at the bar. So they say, okay, he's still there up till 12 o'clock. At some point, he calls or texts a friend. I'm guessing that this is that Facebook message.
Got you.
Saying he's at Marianne's Bar and he's having a good time. They don't have an exact time on that, which is crazy. If it's a Facebook message, it should be like, okay, 12:17,
yeah, that
32
makes no
seconds,
sense.
whatever. 12:15 a.m., last confirmed sighting of Franco's inside the bar. Witnesses recall him that he was just basically talking with his friends and others near the back bar area. 12:30 a.m., bar surveillance reportedly shows him exiting Marianne's. So 12:15 is his last sighting by other people. 12:30, the surveillance gets him walking out. They said he was likely begins walking toward the Boston College campus. The way he left the building, that's the way he went, like back to college.
Yeah, because it says right here, I have, like I said, last seen on security footage walking toward the Chestnut Hill Reservoir, which is near the campus.
Correct.
Got you.
His Volkswagen station wagon is parked at the campus. The most direct walking route is you go Charlestown Ave, then you go on to Reservoir Walkway toward Commonwealth Ave, which is where the entrance is.
Got you.
Between 12:30 and 1:15 a.m., no one reports seeing him after the bar. So this is that gap window, roughly 45 minutes that's like unaccounted
Got
for.
you.
The temperature on that night, below freezing. So it's a very cold night. Icy conditions are possible, they're saying, on those reservoir paths.
Sure.
So last cell phone ping, Chestnut Hill Reservoir, right down on that area. Phone was either powered down, battery died, or it's submerged shortly afterwards. No further phone activity, text messages, and he never returns to his car, obviously. The friends obviously just assumed he went home.
Got you.
Obviously on Thursday, February 23rd, he never shows up to CVS, never shows up to work.
Got you.
Family becomes alarmed once he missed classes now, and he's not answering calls. So now they're like, what's
Clearly out of the ordinary for this individual.
Yes.
This guy is very clearly like a regimented, responsible person with, a lot of different aspects of his life going on. He's clearly good with time management. You kind of have to be at that, if that's what you do. You're doing all this kind of stuff, right? And then it says here, I have from February to April of 2012, the search efforts continue with state police and divers conduct extensive searches of the reservoir. Sonar sweeps reveal no results. Now, this is where this is actually where, like, again, where there's always like this one thing, especially from the David Mark thing, where it's like everything seems pretty routine. I don't want to say routine, but the script seems similar, and then something comes up and you're like, oh, wait, hold on. So what this has to tell me that at some point, right, he was put in there.
Well, that's the argument, because if you have dive teams, you have sonar equipment. They did ground searches all around it, canine searches. They did all this stuff within the 2 months, and then they find the body in April. So how many months is that? 2 months. Yeah. 2 months. They did helicopters with thermal imaging. They did a lot of police work here trying to search for this body. Bruce Springsteen actually put up a picture because his kid went to school with him. Put up a picture on his social media.
Are you fucking serious?
Swear to God. So there was some eyes on this, obviously. Bruce Springsteen's putting up the missing photo.
Right.
Would you call him top 5 artist maybe ever?
Ever. Guy had his own radio station on Sirius XM radio.
Yeah.
E Street Radio.
Yes.
Check it out.
So they do all this, and then 2 months later, you find the body. It makes you think, well, was he placed in later?
Here's the thing, though. He was found on April 11, 2012, after nearly 7 weeks missing. His body is discovered in 7 feet of water in a heavily weeded area of the Chestnut Hill Reservoir. Now, here's another thing. His wallet and keys are reportedly found with him. There's no signs of trauma or foul play announced publicly. Cause of death is ruled consistent with drowning. Now, here's one thing I have to say, right? As far as the search goes, not to plug our name into the dialogue of this podcast, but as far as the actual police search goes, it's not like they were looking through the Pacific Ocean. A reservoir is not that crazily big of an amount of water.
I would agree.
Where does it go from pond, lake, estuary, reservoir? How does that all
I'm pretty
scale
sure
up? What's the smallest, what's the smallest titleable body of water to the biggest?
Am I wrong? A reservoir is a contained.
That's the other thing.
It's
is
contained.
what I mean.
It's not an open waterway to another.
No, it's a
Reservoirs are a man-made lake where ponds are the smallest of the three.
okay. So a pond is the smallest.
Yes.
So a reservoir can technically be any size as long as it's man-made.
Looks like it.
Because a reservoir, you got to think what they're doing is quite literally what they're reserving this area for water to exist,
Yeah,
right?
it's a managed lake.
Managed lake.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Lakes are larger and deeper than a pond.
okay, so it's larger, deeper than a pond.
Do we have any stats on the actual size of Chestnut Hill Reservoir? This body was found.
You've driven by it before. If you've driven
I'm
by
sure.
BC.
I've been to BC many times.
It's up that it's got the hill. I'm almost positive that's on Soldiers Field Road or whatever it's called. It's up on the. It almost looks like a little platform.
Okay.
The water is on the other side of that. I'm almost positive. I could be wrong. Fucking doesn't Lynn have a reservoir?
Oh yeah, Lynn has a reservoir.
Right?
Yeah, 20 to 30 feet from the shore is where the body's found, 7 feet deep in that weeded area.
Got you.
That to me seems comparatively in a small thing compared to a harbor. You did sonar, you did diving. If he goes in that day, how do you miss that body?
That's what I don't understand. You can't miss that body. There's no fucking way they missed the body. There's no way. There is no way in hell you missed the body. In a reservoir, let alone. That's crazy. That's like me not finding you in your pool.
My bathtub.
Literally, yeah. or
yeah.
that. Yeah, right, exactly.
It's actually pretty big. 135 acres, 100 plus football fields laid side by side. It's
All
not
right.
it's not small.
Well, so that's, let's just say you go
No, I
5
get the-
football
yeah.
fields wide, 20 long. It's
That's
still
big.
small.
Comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comparative to other, it's not.
Comparative to Rock
it's not.
Pond
I
and
guess
George.
you're right. It's not an in-ground pool. in
So
someone's
yeah, so
backyard,
in
but-
other words, you know what it's like if you look up, if I'm not mistaken, I actually think look up Rock Pond in Georgetown, and I want to see how that's like my hometown. It's my hometown pond.
It's your hometown pond.
It is. So
Did you swim there a lot?
no, you couldn't. It always had E. coli.
Yeah.
From,
because there's
swan shit and stuff.
There's no movement of water in a pond.
Exactly.
I mean? So-
that's the thing. That's why you really can't. Do we have a stat on Rock Pond? I can't believe Rock Pond is getting shouted out here.
About 57 acres,
Okay.
Okay, so it's
3x.
43 football fields.
All right, so it's considered like half the size of this
3 times. This is 1/3 the size, I would say, right? Yeah, about 3x.
Rock Pond is 1/3 of the size of this
Yes.
reservoir.
Yes.
All right, and Rock Pond is like a pretty good size. So this thing is bigger than we thought.
We should
to be honest
we
with
should
you.
just ask them every reservoir.
No,
in the
I
country
want to.
right
I
now.
want to know like
Let's get.
reservoir
I want
stats.
to.
What's the biggest reservoir in the country? Anyway, even still, like I said, you're not looking in the Pacific Ocean. You're not looking in Lake Erie.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying? This
the
ain't
district-
Tahoe.
The district attorney's basically like we look at it as a slip and fall accident, slip and fall into the reservoir. That's basically what they say.
Okay.
That they,
What does
that's
the area around the reservoir look like? Is it as I described, where like there's a walkway up on like a little? It's almost like a slant. Like Al, think of it like it's like a slanted hill goes up to a flat walkway. Pat is acknowledging
He's
that
giving
I'm
the head.
actually right. Thank God, and not making an asshat out of myself here. How would you describe the walking area around? 'Cause it's not like the Wakefield Lake. Oh, that's the other thing. It's got to be way bigger than the Wakefield Lake. Lake
I don't know,
Quinnipiac.
isn't that 3 miles all the way around?
Yeah, it is. Because that's if you do that walk, that's what
Do
that
we
is.
have them give us a square footage
I
on
don't
the
know.
Lake
Do we compare it to the
Quinnipiac?
Wakefield Lake?
I would love
or
to
as
see.
I like to call it, the Wakefield 500.
I would like to see Jack just trying to spell Lake Quinnipiac right now. Like, I wish we could like inlay his search bar right now.
I won a couple spelling bees back in the day, so I'm a pretty
Yeah.
good speller, but I don't know about that one.
It's like I won it with onomatopoeia. What was I going to say, though? But at any rate, I wonder if Pat really liked that joke for some reason. I don't know why.
I think we should have him try and spell it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Jack, look it up just on a little side quest right now. Look it up if you don't mind.
What's the name of it?
Lake Quinnipiac.
Try to spell it right now.
I'll go QUINNAPOWIT.
No way.
It's like not that far off. It's really
I don't
not
think it's that
crazy.
far off. Is he right on point? No, right?
Give me another T at the end.
Okay, got you. Either way, how big is that lake, comparatively speaking, to this reservoir?
Is he on point? Because you're laughing. Is he right or is he? Or did he already
No,
look it up?
I was a little bit off. I thought you said Quinnipiac. It's Quantipowitt. So
Quantipowitt. No, I was wrong. You weren't right. I said it wrong. I didn't know it was Quantipowitt. I thought it was Quinnipiac.
Well,
Sorry.
I missed the double N. I had an A instead of an I, but pretty close.
So
Okay.
he is a good speller.
He is.
Do we have an acreage on that
Yes.
lake?
I think the acreage is what we're going off mostly, right? It's kind of weird when you're talking about a body
Football
of water.
fields,
But
yeah.
So Lake Quantipowitt is about 250 acres in size,
It's bigger.
and football fields would be 189, so it's way bigger.
this reservoir is much bigger than I thought it was. But Pat, what do you have on the walking area around the reservoir, Ski?
I would agree with your description. It's a walkway, and it does. I mean, if you took a wrong step and you were drinking, you
could
take
fall
a stumble
down.
right down.
And the reason I thought that was worth bringing up, Pat, is because it is like an incline or decline, I should say. Well, depending on what way you're looking at it, there is like a decline into that reservoir that could be hard to climb out of. Shit-faced, right?
I think it's like any other body of water where it differs depending on where you are, but
Got
there are
you.
some spots where yes, it's pretty steep.
Steep, got you. Okay, so maybe this isn't as crazy as we thought it was, but still, the sonar thing is again with the
I
cog
don't
in
like
the
that
system.
they dragged this lake. They dragged the lake. They had divers in there. They had sonar equipment. They had helicopters with imaging. They basically did all the police work that we wish they did on other cases.
Oh yeah,
And they don't find this body days after, but they find it 2 months later. How often does that happen?
not very, especially since like
It's only 20 feet offshore.
right,
20 feet
well,
offshore.
Here's the other thing: is like 7 feet of water. That's not like that far down. That's like
It's
your
like 2 feet
average
taller
deep.
than you.
That's like your average. Yeah, that's like your average like deep end in a pool.
Yeah, 7 feet's not crazy.
It's not that far, like, it's not that deep down. So I wonder what this thing is at, like, the maximum depth of this reservoir. Like, what's the low point?
I would say it's probably not that deep.
50 feet?
20 feet offshore.
What is it? Pat's got it. We're way off.
It's really not that deep. Average depth 7 to 15 feet, max depth 25.
Oh. Okay.
So it's
Comparatively
probably
speaking,
in the
that's
middle.
not that crazy.
I see. My thing is like, if you were gonna search a lake, don't you start shore and go make your way to the middle?
Inward, right? To the deepest, what you would think is the deepest point of
Yeah,
the lake in the middle.
I think
of this thing.
I think you'd start at the edges and work in. That would
Right.
make the most sense to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they start from the middle and work out.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way.
you would think the shore would be the most looked at, and there's no way a body's going the opposite way. You would think it would go deeper, right? If it's
You
sunk,
would have to, at that point, right, drop somebody from, like, the air, right?
to get them out there.
In the middle of the reservoir with some kind of adhesive weight, which we'll get into in the next story, believe it or not. I'm saying that keeps them in one place for that long, right? And then what? Something breaks off and you float to the shore? How else do you get there is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not trying to make mountains out of molehills. I'm being serious. Like, think about it. You would have to, like, drop somebody in. They go down, sit at the lowest point of this thing, and then fucking whatever, I don't know, the water deteriorates, whatever is adhering them to what's weighing them down, and then they just, I don't know, buoyancy carries them up. Are they buoyant at that point?
But wouldn't you think that they'd come right to the surface? If you're buoyant, what's stopping you from being fully buoyant?
Right, which is what I'm saying, and still, like,
it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
The whole thing, if they didn't drag this, like, I would get down on you that this is probably like an accident.
An accident. Right, sure, of course. Now, the other thing is, like, what makes them... They say no signs of trauma or foul play is announced. Cause of death ruled is consistent with drowning. Okay, so did he have water in his lungs? Is that what that means? Like,
here's the other problem. For some reason, they never release autopsy details. It's like you can't get any autopsy details or photos or anything like that. It's like almost impossible. We have to start sending out FOIAs on these people.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what we have to start doing, because it's like, why isn't this released to the public? It would quell a lot of people's things. If it's exactly how you say it is.
Even if it's not to the public, how about the family?
I know.
What did the family want to? I'd want to know everything.
Do they know?
God forbid we lose a family member. I'd want to know every single thing. Like everything.
Yeah, I agree. And
that
I think
constituted.
I think it's aggravating for obviously families in that way, because they have found they have to do an investigation.
Well, then the other thing is, like, you got to, like, try and give people as much closure as you possibly can, right? Isn't that part of your duty as, like...
Right.
At any rate, that's the most interesting one, I think, even more till... I think David Mark and this one are another, like, 95%er thing. And then there's that 5 to 10% that come in, and now it's like... Wait, there's a big inconsistency here, and it throws off the whole logistics timeline.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this next case, Jonathan Daly. This one is like, I mean, this is the most egregious one I think we have in this episode. Hands down. Maybe more so than William Hurley from episode 1. Or, I'm sorry, of episode 1 of this season, I should say. Right? Because this one's a fucking doozy.
It's a doozy. Jonathan Daly, he's 23 years old. He's from North Carolina. Is this like the third or fourth person from North Carolina? Why do I feel like Hurley...
Justin Willis was from North Carolina. Hurley was from North Carolina.
Yeah, so this is like, another thing. Graduate student at Boston Architectural College.
Which, for people who don't know, you'd miss it if you don't know where it is. It's at the end of Boylston Street. I want to say it's above the fire department.
You're basically Google Maps. How would you know that?
Look it up. Am I wrong?
I believe you, dude.
It's next to, Dylan's?
Yeah.
It's next to that. I'm almost positive. Like where Abe and Louie's is.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking Summer Shack used to be right there. Bukowski's right there.
Yeah.
It's above, if I want to say it's in that building.
My entire map of Boston just works off steakhouses and bars. So I liked when you said Abe and Louie's.
Had to go Abe's right away. I got to get Al in this neighborhood somehow. So, let me throw a steakhouse at him real quick. Jack, talk to me really quick whenever you get a chance on that.
So while they look at that, he was employed at American Apparel in Cambridge, Boston area, and he resided in the Allston area, Gardner Street in Boston.
It is quite close to Dylan's.
Okay.
320 Newbury Street, Boston, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the BAC.
other. So that's the other entrance
it's on Newbury,
on the
like
other
near
side.
Sauncey.
Near Sauncey, right? Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's on the. I'm saying the campus goes to the campus. It's literally a building.
Yeah.
The back ass of it is on Boylston Street.
Yes.
The front entrance is on Newbury Street.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's just a building that covers both sides, right? Yeah, I'm not insane. See, like if I'm showing you this, that's what it looks like. It's right there.
Okay.
You know where it is now.
Yes, 100%.
Abe's is the next block up.
Yep.
It's right. Rochambeau's right there. The Prue's right there.
Yep.
It's that. That's where Boston Architectural College
So right
is.
in the heart of Back Bay.
Correct.
That's where this kid goes to college. Okay, perfect.
One could say right in the back.
Right in the back.
Of Back Bay, right? Continue, please.
All right. His last confirmed sighting, Daly returns to his apartment on Gardner Street. This is Allston, Brighton area.
October 2nd, 2012,
October 2nd,
correct?
Yep. He shares pizza with his roommate, Miles Smith. They watch like They're watching The Office. Little TV sitcom, having a good time like kids do.
The
just
most
chilling.
basic, the most basic Alston
Netflix
existence of
and
all
chill.
time, by the way. Yeah.
Smith goes to bed. Daly did not return before the next morning. So basically, Smith goes to bed, doesn't see him for the night.
By the way, goes to bed at around 9 p.m.
Correct.
For timeline purposes here.
Yes,
and whatever,
right around 9.
Gotcha.
Obviously, the next day he doesn't show up for work at American Apparel. He fails to make his class, so now they're starting to get concerned, family and friends. On October 5th, they file that missing persons report. October 9th, around 7:25 p.m., a Boston University rowing coach spots a body in the Charles River near the BU Bridge. Authorities confirm that it's Jonathan Daly. They're using dental records.
Now, this is where it gets... First off, this is the first time, by the way, I think dental records have needed to be used to identify a victim in this timeline. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. The second thing is, if they're identifying somebody by dental records, that's like a last case scenario.
You'd assume there's a lot of decomposition. 3, this is where the story pivots into like fucking banana land. Continue. Reports indicate the body was found, bound with chains, and weighted by a cinder block. The ankles were chained. Cinder block was attached to that chain.
Investigators treat it as a quote-unquote suspicious death, but do not release an official cause immediately. The case remains unsolved, with authorities stating no evidence connects it to anything other than a drowning, though the similarities are striking.
Okay. That's pretty much the info we have on this case. I don't know how a person ends up in the water with chains, with the cinder block attached to it, having a perfect night with his roommate before this, eating pizza, watching The Office. I think I did that 2 nights ago. Just a great night. Now you go down and you put a cinder block on yourself. Basically, they're trying to say that he killed himself.
Yes.
He walked to that body of water. They said that they think he did it on purpose.
If those are the circumstances, one of 2 things happen. Somebody tied you to the cinder block, or you did it to yourself.
Correct. You don't trip and fall on a cinder block.
Nobody trips and falls into chains.
Yes.
And it's like, shit, there happens to be a cinder block here. What the fuck?
The cinder block and the ankles being chained was a deliberate act.
By whomever.
Right. Either by him or by somebody else.
Yep.
He left behind all of his personal belongings, so his ID, his computer, his phone charger, his eyeglasses, his passport. So he left everything behind.
Did he take his car or did he walk? Did he have a car?
It doesn't mention anything about the car. So
if the producers have any extra ancillary information on this that they want to add from any article you happen to be reading, feel free to throw it out. We'll take anything at this point because...
Alston to like where they find the body in the Charles River, it's another decent walk. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say. But you went out with what?
No car. He did have a car, but he said he was going out for a walk that night, and there were no signs that he ever took his car at all.
Where does he get this cinder block? Where does he get the chains? Is he hiding it outside? No one sees these chains. Did he just he has no car to store the cinder block? Where did he store the cinder block? Where did he store the chains?
I don't know.
Why eat the pizza and watch The Office?
I don't. Is that the last thing you wanted to do before you cinder block yourself to the bottom of a river? I don't know where that I don't know where any of these 2 potential timelines interject here. Where they cross over. Is there anything else that's worth noting? You think, Pat?
Well, I just think it's to say that there was no suspicious activity or no foul
just
play
makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Well, to look at his body and be like, well, there's no physical harm. It's like, yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. So let me ask you a question.
It's legitimately chained to a cinder block.
So let me ask you a question. If they found somebody, for lack of a less sensitive phrase, hanged somewhere.
Hanged?
I
think it's hung.
Hung somewhere. If they were hanged somewhere, I don't know.
Doesn't
Either
matter.
or.
It doesn't
Right,
matter.
either or. Essentially, it's like the same thing, just at different ends of the body. And it's like, one is much more easy to do on your own than another one is. Hanging yourself is much easier to do than adhering a cinder block to your ankles, tight enough to where it doesn't detach, by the way.
And also, if he has a cinder block, that means he is most likely not leaving wherever he went. So wherever he's found, most likely is where he went in.
Essentially, he would have to be walking with this fucking cinder block. Do you know how fucking stupid that looks?
That's what, across
Across
Charles River?
the Charles River.
The
You would have to
BU
be
Bridge?
walking with chains and a cinder block. You don't think anybody would have seen this and been like, what is this maniac doing?
I got to look up how far the BU Bridge
Yes.
to Alston.
Because you got to think that couldn't have been, he was found with, that had to be, this also, by the way,
1.5 miles.
okay, so that's a considerable walk.
Yeah, especially
Okay.
carrying a fucking, how about a cinder block? Got to be 35, 40 pounds, right? Am I wrong?
I think more than that, actually.
What does
I'm
a
thinking
cinder
like
block?
50, 60 pounds. So the
30
other,
to 40 pounds. I'm good.
right, yeah, not
good.
bad, huh? You have to think at this point too. One thing worth noting, Jack, I'd throw it out.
I just can't find anything. I'm looking for anything about how those chains or that cinder block got on them. Nothing.
Here's another thing. I think what you're looking at with this case is the one so far that you have the point of entry.
You have the point of entry.
It has to be. Where else did this fucking kid go? You didn't float with the cinder block. I don't care if you're in a riptide in the Amazon River.
Yeah, so,
That you have the point of entry.
yeah. You have
Like,
the point of entry.
You have the point of entry. He had to go in right there.
How many days later is it? It's like 7 days? Is it a week before they find him?
Yep.
Yeah, a week before they find him.
So he would have to get up on the BU bridge.
Jump from the bridge.
No, but like with his shit.
Yes.
With the whole thing.
Cinder block, the whole nine. Then I would assume you hold it and jump in, right? You probably wouldn't throw it and then you just fall back. You probably jump in with it all and then just let it go.
Oh,
if you do.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Right. You have to get yourself over.
Did someone force him to jump?
I don't know. I don't know. How else did somebody have him on a boat and push him overboard with it? Because that'd be way easier.
Yeah.
Way easier.
Yeah.
Was he under the bridge or was he like just near invisible in sight line if you were like on this bridge
It
and
just
looked to the
says
right?
near. It says near, so it's tough to say like an exact pinpoint.
Okay. Even still, that where he was found. First off, wait a minute. How did they find the body? Was it detached from the cinder block? Or did he just float up with it? Like, how did this happen?
Did a paddle hit it? Maybe that's not a deep portion of the.
Because that's got something to do with it. Like, how did it even make it to the surface?
The body was found still attached to the chains and cinder block when it was pulled from the river.
So how does that even happen? I don't even know how that happens. How do you, the whole point of people doing that, if mobsters used to do that back in the day, whatever, is that like the thing, the body never floats up.
Unless you drop it at an area that's not as deep as you think.
Maybe. I still don't know.
So maybe it's still submerged, but maybe like a paddle hits it. If you're a row coach, I'm assuming you're on the lake, you're on that river, right? And they're rowing. Maybe it hit
Likely
something.
decomposition gases could have played a factor.
Yeah, but that would make the body float more, right? We get
Yes,
that.
and
but,
he had also been missing for about a week before the discovery.
So a good amount of time to decompose.
yeah, oh yeah, the gases are.
Yeah. So in other words, there is a natural factor as to why you would rise to the top
But
that
Mike-
would physically allow you to outweigh that physics. That
Can
would be.
40 pounds? Can a 40-pound cinder block hold the body?
How much
down?
more can it? Here's where we're digging deeper into this. How much more can it make the body weigh? Like what? You know what I'm saying? To like offset the physics of if a single cinder block can hold down this much person at this weight, how much would it take? How much big would you need? Like me and you might need like two.
I like the idea that there's like 3 FBI agents in an office being like, "What is Jack Googling?"
Like 30, 40 pounds it could add.
So
That's
it could
what
add
I'm-
30 to 40 pounds.
And
How
it
much
says,
is a fucking cinder block,
And
Al?
it says it would make sense if he's missing for a week, and it says it's consistent with how other submerged cases have been resurfaced. That he would be floating after a week
This is why I
Because of the
asked
So he
gas.
how
still
much.
would be floating with the,
with the gases.
But
with
what
and
the
it would
block.
still bring the cinder
Yes.
block up.
Yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
that's why I asked
You
how
need two
much.
cinder blocks.
You,
Maybe you get
well,
2
would've-
weeks.
How
Maybe
many
you
would
need-
I need? I need like 3. You need like 3
I
or
need
4.
like a fucking.
Need a sheet of
Yeah,
granite.
yeah. Just like
They just throw you over
Yeah.
with like a countertop, like a
Yeah.
granite countertop.
Yeah,
They
they
just
need
send
a-
it out.
Yeah.
They're like, keep this motherfucker
Actually,
down
do
there.
you have a spare elephant?
Yeah,
we
does
could kill
anybody?
first?
Yeah, right, exactly. They fly it in from like Tibet
Yeah.
out of a thing. Yeah, no. No, but that's why I asked. For physics reasons, how much more would this have
Are
to
you
make
sure
him?
only 40 pounds?
20, 30.
Okay.
So 20 to 40 pounds.
So you need 20 to 40 pounds of weight to keep your body down. Is that what you're saying?
No. I think you might be misunderstanding what I'm saying. If this individual was like tethered down with a 40-pound cinder block, I was asking Jack, like, how much more would the body have to weigh for the buoyancy to pull that cinder block up? Do you see what I'm saying now? So when he says it inflates it by like 30 pounds, that
you're
makes
saying,
weight.
okay, so you're saying that it adds 30 pounds to the weight.
Yeah,
20
yeah.
to
Do you
40.
get what I'm saying now?
Decomposition in the gases. Okay,
This is what I'm trying to say.
understand.
Where
Okay.
when I was saying it offsets the physics,
Yes.
how much would this dude need to decompose, or however?
The gases are going to overweigh the block.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get
That's
that.
how you get up there, right? So it sounds like the search is asking the right fucking questions that somebody else should have been asking.
Someone has to ask these questions.
Somebody's
we're
gotta
not the
ask them.
brightest people in the room.
Nah, we're pretty bright though. It's a bright set. You know what I mean?
Well, and just to clarify, the body was still submerged under the water.
It
Oh,
was submerged.
Oh, it was.
Yes, sorry, I thought you knew that.
No,
Yes.
I didn't. Well, no,
It
I'm
hadn't
thinking.
like
I'm thinking
it didn't
that-
like break the surface. The coach saw something like strange under the water, like an outline.
So they must have been doing like a regatta or some shit, or
Yeah,
a
by
morning
the
row
bridge.
or whatever
They
the
do
fuck
a morning
it
row.
was.
That's how I thought it was too.
Got you. Okay.
Maybe
okay.
they had a long chains. You know what I mean? If the chain's long, it could still. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. So even still, even if let's say it's 20 pounds, that's enough to get it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, the body's still going to be floating, but maybe it's tethered to the bottom.
Tethered to the
But it's still floating enough.
But it's floating enough to where it's visible from the surface.
Correct.
Meanwhile, you might
Well,
still
he's
be
probably
down.
right there, being like, "What the heck was that?
The fuck
Or-
is that? Right. Or like listen, they paddle through water every day. If they hit something, they know what's a rock and
Yes.
what's not.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I mean? So whatever it is, we essentially just did like crime scene math.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like crime scene, like we have decoded the crime scene essentially
So it adds 30 pounds to your body.
on average.
So like a 30 to 40 pound block would add like 20 to 30 pounds.
Right, but then with the decomposed weight,
Right.
now we're
Yes.
talking like you would need more to fully tether the body
Because
down.
water displaces weight. It displaces weight pretty
Well, yeah,
much, right?
right.
Because it's okay.
Yeah, because it's how gravity works and all types of shit. Either way, we're doing some serious crime scene math here, right?
Yeah, I'm just
Which-
thinking if I have to ever get rid of you, I'd probably throw like 5 cinder blocks.
Yeah,
in.
absolutely. You can't afford to let me get close to that surface,
Yeah,
buddy, because
yeah.
I'm pulling out of that bitch.
Yeah.
I'm coming out like what's it called? The creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
I'm crawling out of that bad Larry
Yeah.
with a vengeance.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? But yeah, that's basically what we have on Jonathan Daly. I just don't know. Can I ask another question as far as, I mean, I know we're going deep into this, which is why it's called the search. How common can we get a stat, if one does exist, this is going to sound ridiculous, on suicide by
Drowning.
self-drowning with a cinder block?
That's
is-
a real.
Is that
Narrow
this is
search.
what you have to do. This is why we're called the search. Is that a thing? Do people
Under
do that?
0.1%, 0.85% of all suicides.
So no one does this.
Wait, 0.85. they drown themselves, 0.85, or with the cinder block.
In a 20-year review, suicidal drownings accounted for 0.85% of all suicides.
That's all
Literally
suicidal.
less
That's
than
all
1%.
suicidal. That's
In-
not even with the cinder block.
In one non-coastal U.S. region. Some studies report that 2 to 8% of suicides in water-rich areas are by drowning.
2 to 8. So that's total suicide.
So we're talking, Pat, less than 1% here.
We're not even, and that's
And
without
it's
the
this
cinder
guy.
block. No, that's without the cinder block.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Even still, less than 1%.
It doesn't seem like a great way to kill yourself.
No. So not efficient. Not.
It feels like there's some type of tragedy. You're not going to stay down. You're going to try to fight. Fight or flight's going to kick in.
There's essentially no one. The 0.85, whatever it is this kid. If they're right. That's like the one thing that throws off the stat. Right?
People are naturally scared of water. So
100%.
like it's like there's certain things like fighting.
What are the two
water.
worst ways to die? Drowning and burning to death, right?
Yes.
So why
I know.
would you?
But this is what like stumps people. Like they try to say it's an accident, or people like are suicidal. People don't go into bodies of water like that usually to kill themselves. They find other ways.
Self-drowning is like not a thing that I've ever heard of. You heard people with the carbon monoxide in the car, hanging themselves, gunshots, whatever the fuck, taking a bunch of pills. I don't know, anything, right? Other shit. Driving their car off the side of the road, whatever, right? People do
And
things
I
in
definitely
moments.
don't think a cinder block could stop him from like. So say let's just play devil's advocate here. Let's say he did want to kill himself. He wanted to commit suicide, and he goes to the Charles River with that cinder block, and he throws it in, and he goes in.
He had to walk there with it, by the way. The only other way this kid could have done this, by the way, is if he like rented a boat, paddled out there, which I'm pretty sure you can't even do at that time of night.
I don't think you can.
You can't. Like, the only other thing I'm saying is, was it like placed somewhere else?
No, but
Like, in
even the
other
boat,
words-
there would be a random boat running around.
No, I know.
At that point.
No, I'm aware. That's what I'm saying for the absurdity of this bullshit. I'm not talking about like in The Godfather where they're like, hey, if you go in the fucking the bathroom stall, remember they have the gun hidden in the toilet that they like, or it's like, oh, I left this cinder block underneath the bridge that you can walk down and I'll grab it and tie myself up and shimmy myself in or whatever the fuck. Like it all, none of there's no genuinely logical timeline where this is like, oh, all right, this had to be what happened. No fucking way.
I think too. Here's my point. My point about the cinder block is if you're gonna kill yourself and you bring that cinder block down there, you're thinking in your head, I don't want to be able to come up. A cinder block's not stopping you from coming up. My kid is probably like 100 pounds. If he's holding on to my leg, I'm getting to that surface. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's a person fighting back at you, increasing more strength. So, like, if he had that in his head, like he didn't want to be able to come up, a 40-pound cinder block is not.
Like I
Doing
might
that
be
to
able to hold you down, all 218
Oh, you definitely
pounds
could.
of me.
Other people can drown somebody.
If I
like
go limp and hold your leg and I'm just holding you down like
100%. But a
you for
cinder
me.
block isn't going to hold you down if you want to come up. It's never going to hold you down.
No,
That
if you
person has
if
to already
you-
be dead going in.
Yeah, right.
Or they have to just succumb to their own fate.
Or they're just the frailest piece of shit of all time. I'm just saying you're just not like you're.
I still don't think 40 pounds. I really think my kid, 40 pounds, he would be able to come up with 40 pounds.
I mean, there's
Because again, like he
there-
said, it's only 20 pounds.
You got to think too.
That thing weighs 20 pounds in water.
There's
pretty
students
much.
walking around with backpacks right now that weigh 40 pounds. If you got
see
like
some of them walking around?
it's insane.
It's nuts.
Scoliosis waiting to happen. It's fucking
Yeah.
insane. Sophia comes home from school like a year ago, right? Just a little side allegory. She's like, I've been having back pain and like my wrist hurts and stuff, and I'm like, you're fucking 16. What are you, like 50? Like what?
Yeah.
I'm making fun of her. I go to pick up her backpack. Dude, if I wasn't like slightly, I would have torn my fucking bicep off the bone. I'm like, they're letting you walk around with this?
Dude, when we were younger, you used to try to bring notebooks in your
Nothing.
bag. You go to your locker between every classes. Now they're jamming it in. I'm like, what are you doing walking
And then I'm
around
looking
with
at the
that?
backpack sitting in like the chair, and it's like this fucking wide. I go, what the hell do you have in this thing?
Yeah.
I go, what, your whole life is in this backpack? What are you going across the country?
Yeah.
So immediately I was like, sorry for chirping. My bad. I literally almost pulled my shoulder out of the socket trying to lift the thing off the chair.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I just don't think that that's a good way. Going back to this, I don't think it's a good way to like kill yourself with
It's completely
that cinder block.
inefficient.
It doesn't make sense.
Completely inefficient. Makes
Walking
no sense.
1.5 miles with the 40-pound cinder block.
Just
That's a big carry. That's a great fireman's
first
carry.
off, not even that it's a big carry. It looks like the stupidest thing. How fucking moronic would somebody look doing that? Let's be real here.
I think
you
that
have to think at
I
some
think people
point-
would have saw you. You can't even blend in with a cinder block. You're not blending in with a
unless
cinder block.
this kid here's the all-time devil's.
Does he find it at the?
No, the all-time devil's advocate spin zone that I've ever come out with in my life is that this kid was so depressed that he's like, I'm gonna walk a mile and a half with a cinder block and chains in my hand. And if
I want someone to stop me.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I want somebody to stop me, and if nobody does, I'm doing it. I need a sign, and because it was 10:30 at night, whenever the fuck this kid went out, maybe nobody's seen him, and he just took that as a sign. Again, this is devil's advocate spin zone. Like, I'm digging deep here.
So that's not your theory.
No, absolutely
Okay,
fucking not. I'm saying devil's advocate spin zone. Like, maybe that's it. I'm
I think
looking
this
for a
kid was
sign and get
killed.
one.
I think this kid was
Yeah,
killed.
man. I think this kid
I
was
think
killed
that,
too.
and this has nothing to do with anything. I think the first person you should look at is the roommate. Just to like, let's knock that off the thing. I don't even think that they interviewed the roommate.
You don't think so?
No, not to my knowledge.
I mean, if you can't prove that he left if you could prove he never left the house, there's nothing to ask him. Unless it's like, was he depressed? No. Okay, thanks. What else is he gonna offer you?
Mile and a half with no car carrying a 40-pound cinder block and chains is.
It's the stupidest mental image you could possibly think of. Think how dumb that would look. Where you'd be like, where am I that this lunatic is walking with just a cinder block and the chains? Don't
Yeah.
forget. Because
And
the
the chains.
chains had to be kind of big, right? It can't just be a
It
little...
had to be big because of it floating and then being able to see it from the surface. It had to be,
Can't be a bike chain.
No.
That you take off a Schwinn.
it's a big chain.
Yeah, exactly. Pat has something.
They did interview the roommate. It was no evidence of a struggle, nothing, but he was fully cooperative. They talked to classmates, faculty members. No one said that he had anything. It feels like he didn't have any debts, no gambling, no drugs, nothing like that. And then family members, same thing. He said he just didn't have any mental health issues. Nothing was reported like that. So,
And
but they
again,
did
devil's
dig into
advocate, you do hear sometimes where it's like, oh, this person seemed like they were so happy, and then a tragedy happens.
Like
That does
Robin,
happen.
Robin Williams.
That does happen. Does happen. Mental health can be a very silent thing. Obviously, that people internalize. I get that. But like the practicality of the whole thing just makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. None.
No,
None
he definitely
whatsoever.
didn't walk 1.5 miles with a cinder block. So
And chain. You're forgetting the chains.
if
and chains.
If he left him there, a week before, a couple days before, I can get down with that story. But there's
so
no
you're
way he
telling
walks
me
him.
that even still, devil's advocate spin
Yes.
zone. People just walked by the BU bridge, which is like that's a big footbridge.
I would agree.
Back and forth people all day. You don't even think like campus police would have walked by and been like,
What's the
somebody
cinder
maintenance
block?
people, could somebody come get this out of here?
Yeah, unless he hit it. I don't know. I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate. here.
Again, we're going deep into the spin cycle right here to try and find a way to make this work, and it just does not at all. So
This is like William Hurley with the GHB in his system, and he had like bash marks and bruises on his face, and then just say, "Oh yeah,
Yes.
he fell in."
yeah,
This
and
is
then,
very
and
similar
then
to that.
To add, I'm not going to go through the whole message that we received about that, but there was not an alluding that this individual. Why are you looking at Pat? Were you about to cross the legal?
No,
How? I'm not even saying. Well, I didn't even say anything.
say it.
Some individual, one of them that night, there were 3 people revealed to be there that night,
Yes.
which is not like that's not a suable thing. That's a fact.
Yep.
I don't know a lot of people that go to like sporting events alone. I know people do it,
Yep.
but that was not the case. He was with 2 other individuals,
Yep.
right? That just shared the one friend as a mutual friend because they didn't know each other.
Correct.
One was buddies with a kid from college, and the other one was buddies with Hurley. Ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah.
Somebody in this group was dishonorably discharged from the Navy.
Yes.
I don't know if the other individual was in the Navy. I don't know if the friend was in the Navy. We know that Hurley was. I'm not trying to throw smut on anybody's name, obviously.
Well, you're not
I'm
gonna
just
mention the
I'm
name.
just I'm stating a fact.
Yes.
That's I'm just stating a fact.
Yep.
So it's interesting when, like, you know, sometimes the roommate knows something or a friend, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
So it's
possible.
like, but I'm saying even more still to the GHB in the system thing with Hurley. It's like,
Well,
someone had to do that.
if I recall, no one was even investigated, any of Hurley's roommates or friends.
Right.
So,
Right.
Sometimes
or at
they
least
do.
not to any thorough extent
correct.
of what we know.
So that could just be as simple as a talk.
Yep.
And with Daly's roommate, it could have been simple as, you know,
They show
yeah, I
up
went
with a
to
pen and
sleep.
paper. We got a couple questions we got to ask you. It's a formality. Beep it a bow. Okay, nothing happened. Thanks.
Meanwhile, the roommates, you know, at Home Depot buying chains. And
Right. The Home Depot's got Dexter 2.0 in the closet.
Obviously,
and
that's
nobody
a
knows.
joke, but
That's
you
a joke.
you get my
That is
point.
a joke, obviously. Not talking anything about the John Daly's roommate
I
or
think
anything.
here's what I'll say. It is infuriating that a lot of these things seem to get closed that quickly.
That's what pisses. Unless cops just do that because they're like, we have absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Just call it this. At this point, it doesn't matter what you call
Well,
it.
I would say that the most likely scenario in most cases are probably like, okay, yeah, it was a slip and fall. People drowned. Like it happens.
Yeah, it happens. Sure.
Yeah, all the time.
Sure.
So like that's probably the most likely scenario.
Right.
But
Maybe.
but I think you should investigate it a little more fully every
You
single
would
one.
think so. So this episode carried for much longer than we thought it was going to. That's going to be a wrap on what we thought was going to be kind of a mild episode.
Yeah.
Turned into something pretty profound.
I think Jack's gonna get carpal tunnel from
I
all
think,
the Googling
yeah,
he
it
had
is.
to do
Yeah,
today.
right, exactly.
Those fingers were moving.
I think we got as far into that. Well, the David Mark and the John Daly. I keep saying John Daly like the golfer. I'm sorry, but whatever. Jonathan Daly, Franco Garcia. This turned into a little more interesting than we thought it was going to be. We thought we were going to hit a little bit of a lull patch.
Yeah.
I mean, not every single when you're looking at a chronological timeline of cases, not every single one is the fucking Zodiac.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some are much more quiet than other ones, so to speak.
Yep.
But I think there were absolutely, I think if we did anything in this episode is we asked a lot of the right questions. And that's why they call us The Search. Sorry. I wanted to do with the full, like,
The bang.
like, cha-ching on the, what do they call that on the drums?
Ta-dum-tsh.
Yeah, the little
Okay.
but I
Yeah.
took it easy on Pat. That's gonna wrap episode 3
Yeah,
of
maybe.
The Search as far as like the Men in the Water
Yeah.
series that we're
Next episode, we'll get into some other stuff, maybe some more theories, maybe some more clusters. We'll see how it goes.
put it
we'll
this
try to
way,
cover
this
this-
hasn't just been happening in Massachusetts.
I would agree.
And we'll tell you more about it on the next episode. See you next week.